What up, Long Beach? Welcome back to your home for everything local sports. It's JJ. This preview video is brought to you by Naples Rib Company, the perfect place to cater your team's next event. Like a Sting solo album, Long Beach State men's basketball starting a brand new day this season. Head coach Dan Munson has got 9 brand new players on a 16-man roster, and he says it's the most athletically long team he's had in his 11 years at Long Beach State. That's going to change the way he coaches, the way this team plays, for multiple reasons. I stopped by practice last week and could tell that there's a couple storylines that are probably going to follow this team all the way into March. Number 1, defensive activity. Munson says he wants this team to press, switch, trap as much as it can. All Big West forward Gabe Levin also said that he's excited to see this team turn defense into offense because with all the new players, they're able to kind of set their fundamentals, and it's got the natural length to already disrupt passing lanes. Munson said he wants his team to play more like the Casper Ware group that went to the tournament in 2012. That doesn't mean across the board though, because for the first time in Munson's tenure, he's going to have a pass-first point guard. It went Casper Ware to Mike Caffey, to Justin Bibbins. Those guys scored at the drop of a hat. They also played on a team together, so they kind of knew who they were passing the baton to. This time, 2 transfers are going to be vying for the starting spot. Deshaun Booker and Edon Maxhouni have shown in practice that they see the floor very well, but the speed of the game is going to be an issue for 2 guys who were playing D1 basketball for the first time. Booker filled the stat sheet for the College of Southern Idaho and led his team to the national tournament last year. 6'3" junior also went 52-1 in high school. Maxhouni is an international talent. He played with the Finland junior national team in the 2007 U20 European Championships. Munson recently called it the Lonzo Ball effect. He wants these guys being pass first to kind of turn his whole team into an unselfish unit that's pass first, fighting for each other to get good shots. That is a big difference to what the 49ers looked like last year. The most talented transfer has to be 6'5", 200-pound junior guard Brian Alberts. Transfer in from Gonzaga, where he played 58 games. Technically, he's the first player to wear a Long Beach State jersey who's also been to a national championship. And as you probably know, Munson spent 11 years at Gonzaga helping building that program. So Albert says he knows he made the right decision coming to a place where he likes the coaching style. Munson said he really thinks Alberts can take a leadership role on and off the court. Kid loves the wing, has a nice shot. He's going to have to be efficient behind the line, both a three-point and the free throw, for this offense to click. Biggest name of the incoming freshman class is Jordan Roberts, but another key to this season is health, and Roberts has been in a walking boot for the last few days. He will not play in the season opening homecoming game, and he's not the only one nursing an injury. You look at Timothy Youssef. He's going to be a key to this team's success. A preseason All-Big West pick, got his knee scoped last month, so he's going to be out for the first few games of the season. He filled in for Gabe Levin, who missed some time last year with a knee injury, and Youssef led the Big West in conference play with a 57.8 field goal percentage. Back to Levin, he is a clear captain of this team, the most experienced, the only senior returning starter. Like I said, he said it's a blessing in disguise to kind of start over. The 6'7" and 230-pound forward was also an All-Big West preseason pick. He averaged 12 points and 6 rebounds in 16 games last season, and he had a double-double against top 10 teams, North Carolina and Louisville, on the road. So it'll be interesting to see how he changes his game or keeps it the same with a larger offensive responsibility this season. On defense, he's got to stay out of foul trouble, and really, the entire front court has to, because they're just not very deep. Another key to the season is going to be the returning experience, even though there isn't much. Sophomore Javonte Jackson, junior Mason Riggins, sophomore Jordan Griffin, and senior Barry Ogalu are all guys who contributed in spurts last year, and this year they're going to have to play a much bigger role. Griffin, a sharpshooter from the outside, he's got to be efficient out there just like Alberts has to. Barry Ogalu, a great spark. He could be a game changer coming off the bench as a 6th man as this team gets into the conference schedule. Riggins, another guy who could come off the bench to give Levin and Youssef a blow. And then Javonte Jackson. Shout out to all the JJs. I'm really excited to see if he can take his game to the next level and be a little bit more dynamic in the open floor. The schedule this season isn't quite the gauntlet that Munson has put together in years past, and he did it on purpose. He said last year that the reason for the 5th consecutive exit from the Big West Conference tournament was because the schedule was too demanding for a team that wasn't ready for it. Well, it's a little bit more balanced this year. They're still going to play some marquee teams on the road like Arizona, Michigan State, Colorado State, Oregon State, and West Virginia, but the traveling isn't ridiculous. ridiculous like it was last year. Not nearly as demanding, not as many trips. They're playing back-to-back games at the Walter Pyramid for the first time since 1976 on December 2nd and 3rd against Fresno State and Stanford. And they're playing a pair of Division II opponents early in the season to kind of get their feet wet. A cloud hanging over this entire season is the fact that Long Beach State hasn't gone to the tournament or won the Big West Conference tournament since 2012. Fans got very frustrated with the disjointedness of last season, and Munson, to his own credit, has admitted that it did not go the way he wanted it to. His contract runs through next season, and I don't see a situation in which he coaches a lame duck year. So this year, for Dan Munson, for the future of Long Beach men's basketball, is very important. If you got a basketball Jones, it's homecoming, 4 o'clock on Saturday against Minguez Hills after a day full of events out there in the parking lot outside the Walter Pyramid. Should be a fun time for all. Should be a very interesting season for this Long Beach State men's basketball team, because I don't think that any prediction would be very ridiculous. I could see this team competing with all the best of the conference. I could see this team struggling with injury and consistency. Either way, you're going to find all the coverage right here. Thanks to all of our sponsors, including Papalucci's, a great place to eat down on 2nd Street. We're always going to have all of your 49ers athletics coverage right here at GazetteSports.com and the Press Telegram.